Hello everyone, welcome back to day 2 of our Python programming masterclass. I hope that you have practiced everything that we learned in day 1. Today we are going to learn one of the most important topics in Python, that is operators. Operators are something you will see in almost every program you write, whether you are building a calculator, a game, a login system, or even a machine learning application. Operators are almost used everywhere. By the end of this session, you'll know how to perform calculations, comparing values, and prepare yourself for decision making using if-else statements also. So before writing any code, let's first understand what operators actually are. Let's start with a simple question. What is an operator? An operator, it is simply a symbol that tells Python to perform a specific operation on values or variables. Think about the calculator on your phone. Whenever you press the plus button, the calculator knows that it has to add two numbers, and whenever you press minus button, then it subtracts. So Python also works exactly in the same way. These symbols tell Python what action to perform. For example, if you write print 10 plus 5, then this Python understands that it has to add these two numbers and give the output as 15. Now, without operators, Python wouldn't know how to perform the calculations. And can you think of any operator that you have used in maths? So you can use them. And next, why do we need operators? You might be wondering, why do programmers use operators so much? But the answer is simple. Programs need to perform calculations and also make decisions. Imagine you are creating a shopping application, and if a customer buys 3 4 products, then how will the program calculate the total bill? Obviously, we have to use the addition operator. Suppose you are creating a marks calculator, you'll need addition, division, all these to calculate the average, to calculate them. And if you're creating a login page, the program needs to check whether the entered password is correct or not. uh, that's where the comparison and logical operators come in. So operators help us to solve the real world problems. Can you think of any another app that uses the calculations behind the scenes? If yes, then comment down. And next, types of operators. Python provides several types of operators. Don't worry, we'll learn them one by one. Here's the first operator is arithmetic operators. These perform mathematical calculations. Next are assignment operators, which help us assign or update values. Then we have comparison operators, which compare values and they return either true or false. And after that comes the logical operators, which combine multiple conditions. And Python also provides identity operators and membership operators also. You'll see this mostly when working with list strings and objects. Finally, there are bitwise operators. These are a little advanced, so we'll learn them in a later class. Don't try to memorize everything right now. We'll practice every operator with the code. First, we'll move to arithmetic operators. So, let's begin with the operators. Uh, we'll probably use them the most. These are the arithmetic operators. They work exactly like the operations that you have learned in the school. The plus operator adds two values, the minus operator subtracts them, the multiplication operator multiplies them, the division operator gives the exact answer including the decimals. This is a floor division. The floor division, it removes the decimal part. And there's a modulus operator also. It gives us the remainder only. And finally, you can see this exponent operator. It calculates the powers. uh, when 2 raised to the power of 3, then it will be 8. So you have to use 2, and then you have to use this exponent operator and then 3. That gives the output as 8. Let's move on. Here comes arithmetic operator examples. Now let's see all these operators in action. Here we have two variables, a equals to 10 and b equals to 3. Using these two numbers, Python performs every arithmetic operation. Uh, Everything, like you can see, they have performed addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, floor division, modulus, and exponent also. We will practice all the coding questions at the end of the video. First, we will learn all the operators, and then we will also learn conditional statements, and at the end of the session, we will be doing all the questions. Now, division versus the floor division versus modulus. This is one of the most confusing topics for all the beginners. So let's understand them carefully. Suppose you have 10 chocolates and want to divide them among 3 friends. The regular division tells us that each one gets 3.33 chocolates, but that's not really practical. But if you use floor division, everyone will get 3 chocolates because it removes the decimal part. Now, how many chocolates are left? Exactly 1. That's what the modulus operator returns. It returns the remainder. And let's move to the next. This is the exponent operator. It is used whenever we need powers. Instead of writing 2 into 2 into 2, we can just simply write 2 and then use this exponent operator and then 3. It simply gives the power of that. You can use it with any number, but if any number that is raised to the power of 0, it always gives answer as 1. Same as all the mathematic basics. Now we'll move to the next slide. This is real life applications. Now you might think, will I actually use these operators in real projects? Absolutely. Imagine an online shopping app. It uses addition to calculate the total bill. A school management system uses the division to calculate average marks. And example, some construction app, it multiplies the length, breadth, and all to calculate the area. And whenever we go out to the restaurants or cafes with friends, they divide the bill among all of the friends there. And a software application performs thousands of arithmetic operations every second they perform them. So learning operators is the first step towards building real applications. Here the next slide. These are some small questions, some 5 questions where you can check, you can pause the video and you can check, predict the answers and later check them with the answers given below. Like, don't immediately now look at the answers. First, read each program carefully. Try to predict what Python will print. This is one of the best ways that to improve the programming skills rather than directly checking the answers. Like, pause the video, and then if you need more time, you can pause the video and then write your answers in the comments or on a notebook. Once you're done, then compare them with the correct answers that are given below. If you got some wrong also, that's perfectly okay, because making mistakes is also for the good sake. Like, you can learn from the mistakes that you made, and it is one of the fastest ways to learn programming languages generally. So these are the basics. Now we have mastered the basic arithmetic operators. Let's now we'll move to the assignment operators. We will check the assignment operators now, and we'll be doing all the questions, example questions, and all at the end of the video. Here comes the assignment operators. Now that we have learned arithmetic operators, let's move to another useful type of operators, that is assignment operators. The basic assignment operator is the equals signal, the equal to signal, and it stores a value in a variable. For example, if we write x equals to 10, that means we are assigning the value 10 to that variable x. But Python also gives us shortcut operators instead of writing the whole thing. Like instead of writing x equals to x plus 5, we can simply write that x plus equals to 5. They both do exactly the same thing. Like add and like instead of writing x equals to x plus 5, we can just simply use the second one in this table, that is add and assign x plus equals to 5. Similarly, we have subtract and assign, multiply, divide, floor, divide and assign, modulus and assign, exponent as assign. Same, everything the arithmetic operators that we use them and we will assign them to a variable. And next comes to this comparison operator. These operators compare two values. Unlike arithmetic operators, comparison operators, they don't return any numbers. Instead, they always return one of the two values, that is true or false. For example, if 5 greater than 3, if you write print 5 greater than 3, then it will returns true. It will returns true because the 5, it is greater than 3. And similarly, if you use this equal to symbol that is given in the table, like 10 equals to 8, then it returns false because both numbers are not equal. So these operators become extremely important when we start deciding decision making programs. Like don't confuse, one important tip I can give here is that don't confuse between the single equal to and the double equal to given here. The double equal to checks whether two values are equal or not, and that is the single equal to that we use here in the assignment operator. It is used to assign a value, but here the double equals to, this checks whether the two given values are equal or not. That's it. And let's move to logical operators. These operators helps us combine multiple conditions. Python provides us with three logical operators. Those are and, or, and not. Let's understand them with the real life examples. Like imagine you're logging into your Instagram account, and then you need the correct username and also the correct password to log in into your account. If either one is wrong, you can't log in. That's exactly how the and operator works. Now think about a holiday. If it's Sunday or Saturday, you don't have college. Only one condition needs to be true. That's how the or operator works, like comparison. Any one will be true. If any one will be true, that was the or operator. And finally, for not operator, simply it reverses the answer. If some statement or something is true, the not makes it false, and if something is false, this not makes it true. If today is Sunday, will Saturday or Sunday be true? Like imagine, like today is Sunday and Saturday or Sunday be true, then obviously yes, because only one condition should be true, that is today is Sunday, so that Sunday will be true, so therefore we'll get true. Let's move to the next. This topic confuses many beginners, that is identity operators. These identity operators, they don't compare values. Instead, they compare whether two variables point to the same object in the memory or not. The operator is equal to uh, are these values are equal or not. The operator is asks like, are these values are equal or not, and then it says the output, but it is very different to the other operator. It just points the same, like it just check whether two variables point to the same object in the memory or not. Sometimes two variables contain the same values, but they are stored in the different places in the memory. In that case, equals to becomes true, but is becomes false. Identity operators become more useful when working with the objects and advanced Python topics. Like here you can see that uh, value check, like using equals to compare the values, we use them. Identity check, to identity, like we will compare the object identity. Here it compares the values, here it compares the object identity. Let's move to the next slide, that is membership operators. Membership operators help us check whether something exists inside another object. Python gives us two operators, in and not in. For example, if I write Python in Python programming, here it returns true because Python is present in Python programming. So the answer will be true. Here it gives only true or false answer. Here if you check 5, in this is a list. We'll learn these in our later chapters, but this is a list. If we check 5 in this list, then it's true because it's present. And similarly, not in, it returns true if a value is not found in the sequence, just opposite to in. If we check Java, not in Python, C Java, it returns false because it returns the opposite of the truth. Here 10 not in 1 2 3 4 5, 10 is not present, so that's why it gives that it's true. Let's move to operator precedence. This is really important. Like imagine solving a math problem. Do you always calculate from left to right? No. You first solve the brackets, then you will move to the power, then multiplication or division, and then finally you will go to addition or the subtraction. And this is the same way Python also follows the same way, the exactly this same order. The order that is given here, this is called as the operator precedence. If you're ever confused, then use brackets. Brackets always make your code easier to understand. Professional programmers, they also use brackets because even when they aren't required, because this makes the code much readable and easy. So this is a order that you have to remember before solving any equations or anything. This is called as operator precedence. Now let's solve these expressions step by step. Take the first four. We'll take the first one. That says 10 plus 5, and there's a into, and there's 2. Now we'll go to the step 1. This is the way we have to use the operator precedence method to solve these problems. Now step 1. Then first we will multiply 5 into 2, we'll get 10, because as we said here, we have to use multiplication first, then we have to go to addition. So we'll multiply first, and then the result is 10, and then we will add the 10 to the previous 10 and we'll get 20. So the final result is 20. In the same way, you can do all the other three and check them whether you are doing it correct or not. Better is that don't check this result part. uh, First you have to remember all this operator precedence, then solve all these three, and then later check the result whether you're doing it in a right way or not. And common beginner mistakes, these are the beginner mistakes. Every beginner make these mistakes while learning this Python. Let's see some of the most common ones. The biggest mistake is writing if age equals to 18 instead of if age equals to 18. And the another confusing one is this third point, that is the black backslash one, and forgetting brackets, misunderstanding this floor division modulus operators, and incorrect operator precedence where they cannot forget this, where they'll forget this operator precedence, they'll get error in the code. So these are the common mistakes that every beginner should avoid, and then remember all these to be a perfect coder in Python. And here with there are 5 coding exercises. All these are very beginner friendly, and you can solve all these by checking all the previous slides. Here first one is calculate area of a rectangle, calculate simple interest, find average of 3 numbers, check whether one number is greater than another, find the remainder after division. Okay, so try solving all these 5 problems on your own. Don't immediately copy the solution. Programming improves only when you actually type the code yourself, and it is even more better if you write the code on a paper rather than doing on any code editor. It is better you write on paper and then you go to any VS Code or any code editor and then you paste that code there and run the output. It's better that you write on a paper first. That really improves your skills. So if you get stuck in any of the thing, just go back and then think about the topic, research about the topic, just check every theory part and then come back and solve them. Even if your program does not work on the first try, that's completely normal. Don't get demotivated. You can check the solution online and just get back to it. Debugging, it is a part of programming. Actually, debugging, it is a part of programming. So even if you make mistake, try to debug your program. Don't get demotivated. Okay, now operators are completely done. We will solve the questions related to operators at the end of the video, the most important questions. And here comes the second part of our today's video, that is decision making in Python. So far our programs have executed every line from top to bottom, but what if we want Python to make decisions? For example, an ATM should only allow money withdrawal if the PIN is correct. A student should pass only if their marks are above certain criteria, certain passing criteria. Like a person should vote only if they are 18 years or older. How does Python make these decisions? That's exactly what we'll learn today in this part. We will use something called as conditional statements. These allow our programs to think and choose different paths based on the conditions. Now that we have learned what are operators and how to compare the values, we are finally ready to write our first decision making programs using the if statement first. So so if there is no outcome, execute false branch. Yes, outcome, execute the true branch. Check the condition, evaluate the boolean test. Okay, don't worry. We will do a number of problems and we will understand what is if, what is the false branch, what is the true branch, what is the how to give the condition. All this we will check now in this class. So first we will learn about the if statement. Now we are going to learn one of the most important concepts in programming, the if statement. Until now, every Python program that we have written has executed line by line from the top to bottom, but in the real life we make decisions every day. Like if it's raining, we take a decision like should we carry an umbrella or not. If we are hungry, we will eat food, but there we will take so many decisions like should we prepare food at home or should we go buy outside, should we eat healthy food, should we eat momos, should we eat pizza. Everything is a decision making. And even if the battery is low, we charge our phone. That decides whether we have to charge it or not. Like if your battery is at 50%, you'll think that we will charge it later after some time. And if your battery is like 3-4%, you'll just go run and charge your phone. So notice something common in all these examples. A condition that is checked first, and only if it's true does an action happen. Like example, this phone charging thing. uh, if the battery is 50%, for example, in your phone, you will check it first, like whether only like if it's true does any action happen. That means like you will check it first, that should I charge it now or should I charge it later. That is the condition check. That's exactly how the if statement works. Python checks the condition. Like if it's true, then it executes the code inside the if block. And if it's false, then it simply skips that block and then it continues. Explain the flow chart. Here, there's a flow chart. So let's look at this flow chart. The program starts, begin the if flow, and then it checks the condition, and if the condition is true, then it executes the code. Otherwise it skips it and it moves to the next part of the code that we have written. Like we can have an example that, for example, uh, whether you are eligible to vote or not in India. uh, to whether we are eligible or not, we should check that if the user age, like the person whoever wants to vote, the age of that person is 18 above or not. If it is yes, then it prints yes, you can vote. If it's no, then it will print no, we can't vote. Then we will, but here there is only if statement. So if you are eligible to vote, uh, it prints that you are eligible to vote, but if you are not, then it doesn't print anything. I'm so sorry, it doesn't print anything because there is no else block here. We are just discussing about the if block. If the user is above 18, then they are eligible to vote. That's it, the program ends there itself. And what if the user is 16? It doesn't print anything. The Python doesn't give any output, and that's not even any error. It's just that we didn't give any uh, like anything to the Python to print if the age is less than 18. So it just doesn't print anything. It's just blank. Next we'll move to the examples. So let's look at 3 more examples. That the first one checks whether a number is positive or not. If the condition is true, then the Python prints that the number is positive. That's it, there is no else block or nothing else. if you give any negative input, or if you give any if you give 0 or any negative input, then it doesn't print anything. If you give any positive input, like any positive input, this number says that it is positive. It simply moves on. If you give any negative input, it just simply moves on. The second example checks whether the marks are greater than 35 or not. The passing criteria, if it's yes, the student has passed. It will print that you have passed if you have marks greater than 35. If you have marks less than 35, then it just simply moves on. It doesn't print anything. And here comes the third example. It checks whether the person's age is at least 18, same as we discussed for voting. This is another example where it says that you are an adult or not. It's more or less the same thing. Like if you are 18 or 18 above, then it prints that you are an adult. If not, then it doesn't print anything. As beginners, this is an important tip, that as a beginners, always read the condition in plain English. Like just read it like for example, in the second quote, you just read like, if marks greater than 35, like just check that are the marks greater than 35 or not. Just read it in a plain English way. Then reading in this way, it makes programming much easier. And it only helps in Python because it's a high level language. It is really useful if you read that sentence in normal English. Then we will move a step ahead, that what if we have two conditions, like what if for one condition, what if we have two ways, like if it's true, it executes that truth part, and if it's false, then it will execute the next part. So here, previously when the condition was false, then nothing happened. But sometimes we want the program to perform a different action. That's where the else statement comes in. Think about an exam. If your marks are greater than or equal to 35, then you'll pass. Otherwise, you'll fail. There are only two possibilities. And similarly, if it's daytime, we switch off the lights. Otherwise, we switch them on only. So the if-else statement helps us handle the both outcomes. Like if there's only one outcome, here we can handle both the outcomes. So here we'll explain this flow chart. So see this flow chart. Like we will start with the if-else flow. If the condition is true, the Python executes the if block. Otherwise, it just executes the else block. Like if I enter my age as 15, for the code that we used before, for the voting one, if I enter my age is 15, then it will execute the else block, and it says that you cannot vote. We'll move to the next slide. Here we have some coding examples. We will check these examples. Check whether a number is even or odd. Here take a variable num and then take the user input, and if the number divided by, this is not divided by the way, this is an operator that we studied. You guys can comment it down, what is this. Like we have studied 3 things which are really confusing, so just check it again from the previous slides. Just check it again. So here we are checking if it's even or odd. So by using this modulus, we can check that if we are getting a reminder or not. If we get a reminder by dividing by 2, if we modulus by 2, if you get any reminder like 1, then that will be odd. If you get 0, then that is obviously even. If not, we'll get odd. The same as the divisibility of two rules that you studied in your school level. Just that. And the second program, it checks the voting eligibility. And this the second one we have already discussed many times. So yeah, here in else block, if we enter my age is 16, so obviously it's less than 18, so it will jump to the else block. Here it will print that you are not eligible to vote. And here the third one, it compares two numbers and it prints the greatest one. Notice how all these programs have exactly two possible outcomes. That's why if else is the perfect choice. If you check this code, they took two inputs and then they checked like if A is greater than B, then print this statement. If not, if else, then print this statement. We have entered two numbers and we have checked that it's 10 and 15, and the second number is the greater one. Let's move on to the if, elif and else statements. So far we have handled only two situations, but what if there are more than two? Like, what if there are more than two? We have to use another thing, not only if else. For example, grading students. A student can get grade A, or else they may get grade B, or else C, or else A plus, B plus, anything. Or they may fail also. So in this situation, two conditions aren't enough. That's why the Python provides if, elif and else statements. Python checks each condition one by one. The first condition that becomes true, it is executed. Then the Python stops checking for the remaining conditions. If one condition gets true, then it doesn't check all the other conditions. So explaining this decision tree, it moves from one statement to the other statement, and it just checks whether it's true or not. If it is true, then it will print that block and it will leave the other. If it's not, then it goes on checking all the blocks. Yeah, these are some examples that you can check how to program moves through the conditions. So this is the way that it goes. Here they have taken marks. We will practice all the programming questions at the end of the video. All the important ones we will be practicing at the end of the video. So these are the grades that we can give print according to this. And the thing is, you can use this elif n number of times you want to. How many conditions you want to check, you can just add elif to them. You can add n number of elif conditions there. Here comes the next exciting part, that is nested if statements. It is slightly advanced, but if you just crack it, like, it's very simple. Like, everything is simple. If you just need to crack the logic in it. A nested if simply means an if statement inside another if. Like, if statement inside another if statement is simply a nested if. Think about getting a driving license. First, the person's age must be greater than 18, Only after that we will do check whether they have a valid driving license or not. Like, first we need to check whether the person is 18 above or not. Then we have to go and check whether he have a valid driving license provided by the government or not. Notice that the second condition is only checked if the first condition is true. For example, there's a boy whose age is 16, so that's obviously false. So you won't be checking the inside nested if statement. You'll just stop it over there. This is exactly what the nested if statements they do. You have to, yeah, the important part is the indentation part, which is really important. We have to, you notice the spacing here, that is really important. You have to give that spacing. If not, it uses this Python, it uses the indentation to understand whether the code belongs inside which block, like which block the code belongs. To understand this, Python uses this indentation. Without proper indentation, your program does not work. If you are using VS Code, there's a pro tip that pressing the tab key automatically creates the correct indentation. That's it. So these are the common beginner mistakes that we have to avoid in this conditional statements. That is, every beginner makes the statements while learning this if statements. That is, let's avoid them. These are the most common ones, like never use a single equal sign inside a condition. Always we have to use the second one. We have to not use this single equal sign. We have to use double equal sign while using a if statement. And forgetting colon is really must. We have to put the colon, or else that's an error. And incorrect indentation, this is really important. Python indentation is really important. That is the 4 space thing, like the tab space or else 4 space. Wrong condition order. Yeah, we cannot write elif and then if and then else. No, you have to write it with if and then add a number of elifs you want in between, and then end it with else. Missing else block. Add else to handle all other cases. Like if you don't add else at the end, we will be missing, like if any condition is wrong or there's any out of condition, then it can't handle that false case. If you write a else case, then whatever the other condition is, this else case will just handle all those other cases. And forgetting brackets when it is required. This is the main thing. You have to not forget. These are all the main things that you cannot forget, because the small mistakes will cause big errors and later we cannot identify them. So it's better just remember all these mistakes, all these common beginner mistakes. Now, yeah, these are a good amount of questions that you should solve. And before this, we will also solve questions. We will also solve some coding questions, but just check these questions. And later now in the class, I will discuss some 20 questions so that you will be very comfortable with these operators that we learned, and also with these conditional statements. There are 5 questions, like check whether a number is positive, negative, or 0. Yeah, you also have hint here. Just check these hints and try solving these questions. Don't worry if you can't solve all of them immediately. Python, like Python or any programming language, it is learned by only practicing. So just pause this video here, then write the code, copy these questions to the VS Code, then write the code and then run it, and then come back and you can check the code later in online or anywhere, and then you can find the errors if you have, or else if you don't have error, that's completely perfect. If you have an errors, even then that's completely normal, because without errors you just really can't understand. And remember this, debugging, it is part of programming. Debugging, don't get demotivated. And I'd love to know like how many of you have solved all these questions. You can comment down below like how many questions have you all completed. Now we will move to uh, programming practice questions. So now we will be doing some 10 important questions I would like to discuss with you. With these things, you'll get clarity on how to solve your homework questions and a complete knowledge on everything that we have discussed till now. First question, it's related to arithmetic operators. I'll just read out the question. Just listen to the question that I'm reading, and I'll do the code here. Okay, so write a program uh, to input two numbers and display their sum, difference, product, division, floor division, modulus, and also exponent. We have to, that means like all the arithmetic operators, we have to take two input numbers and then we have to display all these. So let's start. So as I said, we have to take variable names which gives the meaning to this, the question that we're doing, like num1, and as we know, int input, and enter the first number, then same way the second, num2, enter the second number, and then print sum equals to num1 plus num2, and print difference equals to num1 minus num2, and you print product equals to num1 into num2, and print division equals to num1 divided by num2. Print here. Next thing is, okay, we'll take floor division equals to num1 floor division, it's this, num2, then print, and what else we have modulus equals to num1, this is the symbol, num2, and then print exponent equals to num1 exponent num2. We will run this, and we'll clear the terminal and we will run this. Enter the first number, we'll take 10, and enter the second number, we'll take 2. No, it's better we take 5, and the sum is 10 plus 5, 15, difference 10 minus 5, 5, product is 50, division is 2.0, floor division is 2, it doesn't give any decimal, modulus, it gives a reminder, so it's 0, exponent, 10 to the power 5, the exponent that it gives. So we'll just comment the first question like this, clear the terminal. We'll go to the next question, that is about the assignment operators. The question is, we have to create a variable x equals to 20, and then we need to perform all the assignment operators. Okay, like it's just a practice session kind of. This is that you have to take a variable x equals to 20, then you have to perform all the assignment operators. As you remember, all the assignment operators, it's like this: x plus equals to 10, and then print. Here you can take that, like after x equals to, like after adding this, what will we get after adding plus equals to 10? And then we have x minus equals to, let's take 5. Here you can just print after minus equals to just x, and then x into equals to 2, then print after x equals to print x, again x will take division, print after divide equals to x. We'll just run this code and let's check. So first is 20, if you add plus 10 it's 30. If we did, okay, now here wait, the thing is here the answer is 30. So 30, x is now 30 minus 5, you get 25. Now x is 25, so 25 into 2 you get 50. Now 50 divided by 5, at the end you get the value as 10.0. So this is the second question. We'll just comment it and let's move to the third question. It says that comparison operators, we have to take two numbers and we have to compare them. Okay, we'll just do 1-2 comparisons. You guys can complete the other comparison operators, but we will just discuss two comparison operators. Here enter the first number, enter the second number, and to compare we have to write print equal, that is a equal to b. Is it right? I don't think so. It's a equals to b. Then parent, we'll take greater than, a greater than b, and we can take any one, like less than or equal to. Okay, we didn't put the quotation marks here. A less than equal to b. Now let's check this. First number we'll give it 5, 10. Second number, okay, 5. Yeah. Equal, no, false. Greater than, yes, true. Less than or equal to, no, it's false. You can check with the other comparison operators also, like not equal to, less than, greater than equal to, yeah, less than equal to. You can check with all other comparison operators also. Now let's go with the fourth question, that is check whether a person is eligible to work or not. Okay, if a person is eligible to work or not, that means his or her age should be in between 18 to 60. Let's take we have to take input age because it's meaningful. That's why we have taken the variable name as age, and then enter your age. And if age is greater than equal to 18 and age it's less than equal to 60, then print eligible to work, else. Okay, have to take indentation is really important in Python, as we discussed. Here it's print not eligible. Just run this code, check like your age is some 50, you're eligible to work. You can check it once again. If your age is 75, then you're not eligible to work. Let's just comment out this. Okay, let's go to the fifth problem. Here the fifth problem says that check whether a number is even or odd. Actually it's a simple thing, I guess you guys can do this. And positive, negative, zero checking, actually it's homework, you guys can do it, it's really easy. Checking the largest, we have already checked this one in the practice problems there. We'll go to one. Okay, we'll check one if-else and operators related problem. We'll check a grade calculator. Display the grade based on the marks. Like, okay, we have to display the grades based on the marks. So we have to take marks, input, and enter the marks. And okay, if marks are greater than 90, then print grade A, let's say. Yeah, here you have to write this in between the quotation marks, that's important. And indentation is important. If marks are greater than 75, for example, then print, we give grade B for people who have greater than 75, but okay, yeah, greater than 75, and also they have to have less than 90, and marks less than 90. If marks greater than equal to 50 and marks less than 75, these people we are giving grade C. And if none of the condition gets true, then the last condition that they fail. Let's run this code. Example, we got 81 marks, then we'll get B grade. If we get 45 marks, okay, I guess we have some issue here. Okay, greater than 25 and less than. Okay, we'll just remove this. If we check the code again, maybe some sort of, okay, yeah, now it's working. Okay, we have put it if it's less than 90, so that's why 45 is less than 90. The second condition got true, that's why we got grade B as the output, but that's an error. Even though we cannot have error shown here, but the output given does not match, so obviously that's an error only. But here for 45 marks we are failed. And if we check for 100 marks, it's A grade. If we check for 60 marks, we get grade C. Okay, let's comment this out. And okay, one more question, check whether a person is eligible to vote or not. Okay, let's do this question. Okay, we have already done this. Okay, we have done the eligible to work or not. Here it's simple. Age, input, enter your age. If age is greater than equal to 18, then print you are eligible to work. That's it. And indentation is really important. Else print indentation again. You are not eligible to vote. Okay, we have written work above. Let's vote. Don't forget the quotation marks, or else you'll be getting an error. Let's run the code. For example, my age is 18, so I'm eligible to vote. If my age is 8, then I'm not eligible to vote. Let's comment this out. Okay, the last one is really interesting question. We will make a mini calculator. Like, we have to take two numbers and we have to take operators and just make a mini calculator. Like, the user should take the two inputs and the user only should select which operator to use. Then we will be providing with the output. Example, there's num1 and input. Enter your first number and then num2, enter your second number and then the operator also. Input, enter any operator. For this it's like plus or minus or multiplication, or we'll take all this. The user can enter any operator. And if operator equals to plus, then you should print the result equals num1 plus num2. Okay, we have forgotten to give this, and also the indentation, that's an error. Avoid these mistakes. Elif operator equals to minus, then print result as num1 minus num2. One more condition is there, so again an elif operator equals to this, then you have to print the result and equals to, or something that we are doing, and come to the last condition, because there are no more conditions. Oh yeah, we cannot give else, because I'll explain it. Again, we have to take the fourth condition also here. I'll explain you why we cannot take the elif, because we may think that that's the last condition, but wait, we'll discuss it. If we have division, then result number 1. Now we will be taking the else condition and we'll be writing that print invalid operator used. C will take plus and we'll take 5. We'll take minus. Here we are getting answer as 5. Okay, what if we take 5, okay, 10 and then 5 and then we write hashtag invalid operator is used? That is the best choice to take for the else conditions. If the user has taken any wrong input, then that's really useful. So I think by doing all these questions you all have understood. Okay, by doing all these questions you all have understood about all the operators and also if-else, if-else, if-elif-else conditions. So I guess till here everything is clear. So these are the coding questions that you guys have to practice, and then all the questions that we did today and all the concepts that we did, you just have to revise everything. So congratulations, now we have completed another important milestone in our Python journey. Today we have learned operators, arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical, identity, membership, operator precedence, and we have studied if statement, if else, if-elif-else, and also nested if. So these are all the foundation of almost every Python program you will build. And now I have one request for you. Don't just watch this video. Open your VS Code and you have to practice every example by yourself. The more you do, the more confident you will become. So in the next class, we will learn about strings in Python and how to create strings and how to access the characters, how to slice them, and the usage of all the built-in string methods. That video will be especially on strings. So thank you so much all for watching this video. If you enjoyed today's session, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with all your friends who are eagerly interested in learning Python. So see you all in day 3. Until then, happy coding.